Good evening. In this particular video, what we are going to look forward is that we are going to derive this famous formula of Isaac Newton, which is force equals mass times acceleration. We are going to make a very simple derivation of this formula, and we will see how it arrives. Now, before we go forward for this particular formula, F equals ma, what we are going to do is that we are going to just take a glance of what we call in physics as acceleration. So we start with an initial velocity of u, and we end up with an final velocity of v, and that divided by a whole time that this object is traveling is what we call the acceleration. So acceleration is basically what we start with the velocity, we start with the u, and we are ending with the velocity v, whole divided by time is known as acceleration, which is denoted by a. Now, with this particular formula, what we get, let us do that we multiply both these sides with t, and let us see what happens. So we get over here ta equals v minus u whole divided by t, and here I am multiplying by t. So I'm just multiplying both the sides by t. So t and t gets cancelled, and what we get over here is that we get at equals v minus u. At equals v minus u, so just by flipping sides, what we get is v equals to u plus at. And this is the first formula, and we looked towards acceleration. Let us skip this aside. This is formula number 1. So we will look into this, why we are arriving to this particular formula. In order to deduce this part, we deduced acceleration, which is the starting with the velocity u, and ending with the velocity v over a time. We get this, we multiply both these sides by t, and we get this formula v is equals to u plus at. So we keep this formula aside. Why? We will just soon discover. And just let us do a small experimentation with a mass. We get a mass over here, m, and it's a force which is acting upon this mass, right? So what we do is that we name this this mass as m, and we define this as force as F. So what is the momentum that we get? Now we know from the previous videos that you have watched that momentum is P equals to mv. If you have watched my previous video, momentum is given by the formula P equals mv. So let us say that this particular object is being applied with a force F, and what we get is an initial momentum. So with this formula, we are writing P initial, right? And we are mentioning as mu, because initially this is moving at a velocity of u, and finally this is moving at a velocity of v. So this is the initial, this is the final. So we write P initial equals to P mu. And we also write over here P final, that is the final momentum, is that it is mass times the velocity, which is this part. This is the velocity, right? Now, this is the initial momentum. This is the final momentum. Now, as per the Newton's second law of motion, as per the second law, we already know that force is directly proportional. We use this alpha sign, which is the change in momentum, the rate of change of momentum. I denote it as delta P over time. So don't get confused by this. This delta P is rate of change of momentum, which we will soon see it matches with the earlier formula that we derived, right? So in other words, we can say it implies that force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. So what is the rate of change of momentum? It is the final momentum, that is Pf, minus the initial momentum, that is Pi, whole divided by t. So this is the final momentum, this is the initial momentum. We deduct with over time. So what we get now, you see that P over F and P minus P final, the minus P initial is what? P final was Pmv, right? And Pi was what? P initial was mu. So we will just substitute these two formulas over here. So it implies force is proportional to mv minus mu whole divided by t. And let us take by algebra, let us take it implies force is directly proportional to, say, we take m common, so v minus u whole divided by t, right? So this is the part. So we are taking v minus u by t. Now, say for example, we know from the earlier formula what we deduced. So Pf here is proportional to m, which we are taking in common, v minus u by t. Now, for example, we know from this particular formula which we calculated, v equals to u plus at. So we write it v equals to u plus at. And if we flip over the sides, what we get over here is that a equals, if I bring it here, v minus u by t, right? Now you see why I deduced the acceleration formula first. So from that particular formula, what we did is that we deduced this part. A equals to v minus u by t from this part, this particular formula, right? So we have got a equals to v minus u by t. Now what we are going to do is that we know that v minus u by t is this one, right? V minus u by t. So why don't we do this way, that it also implies that force, you might have got the answer by this time, is directly proportional to mass times this one I am substituting with this one as ma, right? Because v minus u, this entire part v minus u is getting substituted with acceleration. So we get F is directly proportional to mass times acceleration. But what about this sign? What about this sign, which is the directly proportional sign? So in order to remove this sign, directly proportional, we use a constant, okay? And we call this constant as k. In order to replace this, we are using a constant which is called k. Now why we are using this constant? Because the value of force before we arrive to this conclusion was not known. Okay, so we are using in this way k in order to substitute, where k is basically 1 Newton. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that if we take the value of k in terms of Newton, so it would be k would be equal to, say, 1 Newton, and 1 Newton in return would be equal to 1 kg meter per second square. So what I'm trying to tell over here is that this k is being replaced by mass, okay, which is kilogram, and the Newton is being replaced. This part, the Newton, is being replaced by the force is being replaced by 1 Newton. Let me write it for you. Force is being replaced by 1 Newton. Mass is being replaced by 1 kg, and acceleration is replaced by 1 meter per second square, right? So this k, we substitute the value m for 1 kg, force is just 1 Newton, and a is 1 meter per second square. This is the mass, this is the force, this is the acceleration. So once we substitute this in terms of k, it will be all 1. It will be all 1. So the basic idea of the physicist, in order to replace the alpha sign with a k, which is a constant, is that to give mass, which is a single 1 kg, force, which would be 1 Newton. We are not going further into deriving Newton, and acceleration is 1 meter per second square. So 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1, what it gives? It gives k equals to 1, right? So if we replace this, this becomes force equals to kma. And as because we already know that k can be replaced by single units of mass, force and acceleration, we get force equals to mass times acceleration. And this is what we really started this video with. So let me just give you a basic summary of that. Force equals mass times acceleration. We know acceleration equals v minus u by t, that we start with velocity u, end with v. Multiplying both sides by t, what we get is v equals to a plus at. We keep this formula aside. We start with a mass, we apply a force with an initial velocity of u with a final velocity of t, p. We get force is directly, as per the Newton's second law, is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum over time. Rate of change of momentum, initially pi is mu, pf is mv. So we deduct the final minus the initial, mv minus u by t. We get from this formula, which we deduced earlier, with the formula of acceleration, we rewrite this as a equals to v minus u by t, and this a is acceleration, v minus u is we already got, so we got from here 4f is directly proportional to m substituted by a. Now in order to remove this alpha sign, we are assuming a constant which is k, which is denoted by mass as 1 kg, force as 1 Newton, acceleration as 1 meter per second square, whole multiplied gives to 1, so force equals to kma, which is 1, and here we arrive at the final conclusion, and this is how we derived F equals to ma. Watch out for more videos which are coming up on classical mechanics. Hope you liked watching this video. Thank you very much.